Hey everybody, Dev here, and this video is a little bit different. Yes, this video is going across to the island. Here we go. So here we are on the island, as our clan calls it. Some of us in our clan refer to it as Survivor Island. Some of us, mostly Jay, refers to it as Fail Island. I'm sort of on the fence for this. When I first came out, I kind of thought, it's a bit goofy, a bit lame, a bit slow, a bit dumb, but I actually quite like the distraction it gives, and I also like the different style of gameplay, but still within a Clash universe that it gives. As a Builder Hall 4, I'm enjoying this. I've got some max archer towers. I've got the double cannon, of course, which I've geared up on the mainland. Clock towers at level 3, and that's something interesting. Maybe that should apply across the mainland too. Who knows? I like the guard post idea. That's pretty nifty, but it's actually the traps that have impressed me the most. And the fact that we've got one, a new trap, and two, less opportunity to avoid them. And what I mean by that is when you've got a very large base and a small number of traps, the amount of areas you can actually trap becomes smaller by proportion. So if you've got a smaller amount of space and a larger amount of traps, obviously you're going to be able to trap more. And that means you can actually eke out quite a few wins because the opponent doesn't really know what to do with their traps. Now this is my base I've been rocking out for the last few weeks, pretty much since I got to Builder Hall 4. And you can even see that the main part of it was Builder Hall 3, and of course the new stuff out the back. You'll note that I haven't really done anything with the walls as yet. I'm a big fan of leaving those to the end. And you can also see that I'm not one of these people that has all their stuff in the corners. I genuinely feel that the buildings should be in to delay the troops, and so your defenses should be able to reach them. That's also why I've got my archer towers up instead of down. I prefer the slower, more powerful shots, particularly at longer range, as opposed to the less powerful, shorter range. Oh no, I suppose it's the same power. The shorter range, faster firing option. But of course, for those that are getting in close, the Crusher is doing a great job. A frustrating defense, but sometimes it can sort of be a bit of a liability if you know what you're doing. Anyway, in terms of knowing what we're doing, let's take a look at my battle log, and I'm going to show you 10 replays today, 5 attacks of mine and 5 defenses of mine. And the first one I'm going to start with is a 92%. It's pretty sad when I say that 92% is actually pretty good at Builder Hall 4. Now, I'm just going to pause it here to let you know my general style. Typically, because I'm a big fan of these barbarians at level 8, especially when they're raging up for as long as they do, it's just like regular Clash. You've got to funnel first. And if you have even a modicum of understanding on how Clash works on the mainland, you are going to do quite well for yourself on the island, because the principles are the same. Funnel in, target the buildings you need to, and go for the percentage if you can. So with that, with the traps, sending in one barbarian at a time rather than a big group is always a good play. Okay, as you can see, clear out the traps. Might have to sacrifice 1 or 2. Then the box of giants go in. And then I decide to essentially spam my troops once the breach has been made. And the pathing was great. The barbarians went to the hall first, which was awesome. And then, of course, the giants tanked a little bit. The Crusher took out most of my army there, which is a bit of a shame, but that's the way that it goes. It is a fairly powerful defense. But I kept a few archers in up my sleeve so that I could take out a few of these buildings once the major defenses were down. And as you can see now, this is how I pick up 92% by having a few barbarians just roaming around at the end. Again, this person didn't have anything in the corners, and you can see the barbarians roaming around. It's pretty sad when you know they're not going to get 100%, but then again, it seems as though not getting 100% isn't necessarily going to make or break your attacks. A lot of my attacks end up around the 50-60% mark, and that's usually enough to win, particularly how the onus is now on your defense rather than your attack necessarily. So if you defend well, you've got a better chance of coming away with the victory. Okay, that was my attack on that base. This person's response. Let's see, where are they? There they are, 41%, going with archers and Barbarians. I like the sneaky archers. I like the fact that they are cloaked. I like the fact that you can actually do some damage with them before they get annihilated. I'd like to see that ability perhaps over on the mainland as well. Of course, we already see the raged barbarians with the barbarian king. So this person's used archers to try and make a bit of a funnel, and also to try and take out that critical building of the crusher. So if you're using barbarians as your main force, again, taking out the crusher is probably a good idea. Sending in 1 or 2 guide barbarians, perhaps to clear the way. And then the main force goes in, will speed up. So you can see how the base works. It sort of diverts people, diverts them around 1 spring, 2 spring, and then a crossfire between essentially 4 defenses at the end there. Okay, so 41%, not enough at this stage. Next battle. Next battle was this one here. I got 79 and he got 50, so we'll start with me. And this is one of those bases that you would have seen perhaps maybe at at Town Hall 3 or 4 back in regular Clash of Clans, where you seem to think that because you've got your base backed up into a corner, you're going to do pretty all right. That's not the way it goes. Quick check. Yep, nothing in the corners. We're good to go. So my thoughts on this base were, let's take out some buildings here and try to funnel my way into the core. And then keeping an eye on these ones at the back, I might be able to nick a couple of percentages that way. So here we go. Archers, because they're so sneaky, they can use their cloak ability to get that funnel going. And you can see here that the funnel has been made. Again, not committing the main force until the coast is clear in terms of the traps. A few more at the back door there to clear up the mess. And then, so coming in from both edges effectively to get as much percent as possible. So I take out the archer tower, I take out the town hall. The crusher is probably going to finish off the rest of my barbarians right about now. A mine by a crusher is an interesting call. Your crusher really should be able to kill the barbarians by itself. That mine seems to be a bit redundant to me. Okay. So my attack on this base, or sorry, his base, not, oh, sorry, that was it. Oh, God damn. Okay, it's my first builder haul video. I'll get better, I promise. Here we go, 50% for this guy. He's using bombers. Now, bombers are very interesting. I'm not too keen on them. I don't like the fact that once they've used their initial bomb, the utility is gone. Boing and boom. Haha, sucker. And you see what I mean? Like the bomber's made a breach here. But then after that, he goes for the walls rather than trying perhaps to go for another building. So I think maybe the targeting programming on that needs to be looked at. I would want the bombers. Yeah, it's cool they make the breaches, okay, like the wall breakers do. You'll see a bit later on in another video that they actually do a little bit, and it's more by accident rather than by design. So bombers are a bit clunky at the moment. I don't like the fact that you get 2 of them for your army camp space. I would want to see perhaps a discount on that, have a few more, or maybe their targeting to be changed. Okay, let's move on. We're going to look at one by the appropriately named Your Killer. I get 50%, he gets 19%, so now who's laughing? In the war of the most appropriate names, it seems Devastator does reign supreme. And you can see my tactic here, going for the funnel, few test barbarians, take out the immediate obvious trap, and then make a breach, and then spam, and of course my barbarians approaching from the opposite direction of the crusher. So in they go, still raging up, which is great. Town hall goes down, and from here it's just how much percentage can I get? Can I get to 50? Crusher goes bam, see you later boys. Okay, and the archers from a distance, no match for that cannon. So a nice squeaky 50% there. Seems to be enough. But this one here, I really wanted to show you because he's using 40 barbarians, and you're about to see one of the funniest moments I've ever seen on Builder Hall 4. So again, similar process, chip away at the buildings, and then obviously trying to get in through a breach in here somewhere. But you've seen my base. Now this is a slight modification. After the last one, I'd moved my builder hut, so the mega mine is sitting in there. I didn't like the mega mine sitting out here because you saw that I got basically 1 troop for the biggest boom. I realized that if the troops were funneled in, I could get more bang for my buck, so to speak. So he spams all his troops, a few bounce over into that group, which is great. And then, bam, Megamind. Ha ha. I reckon about 25 barbarians bit the dust there. I don't know how you feel when that happens to you. It's probably really stink. But when it happens for you, it's absolutely hilarious. Okay, speaking of stink, 50% versus 49% here. I got defeated. And I won't show you the attack on this one, but I will show you my attempt. You can see that I'm again chipping away at buildings for percentage, and noting that this double cannon here is out of action. So I go and clear off the buildings as much as possible. Archer's going for that storage there, not trying to go through the big walls. Megamind explodes, and now I'm trying to get through the weaker walls. So here I go, get my way through, spam my way through here. The spring trap bounces them away into nothing. That seems a wasted opportunity to perhaps bounce them towards the crusher. Turn your trap around, buddy. Rotate it, please. Okay, so we can see that I've done this, and this is the part that infuriates me. This archer is about to take out this double cannon. And we'll pause. Where is it going from here? Where is the obvious target? The obvious target would be the elixir storage. Come around the corner and take that out before the archer tower goes for you. Well, okay, maybe not. Okay, or maybe even go for the crusher. All right. The thing is, it seems as though it's trying to target the archer tower. See, from here, the closest building is the archer tower in a straight line. Well, it was before it started moving. And I think that programming probably needs to be looked at a little better, because I genuinely feel that archer just walked straight past that elixir storage, and it probably could have taken that or started to attack the crusher as well. Just on that note, a spring trap right beside a crusher. I'm not sure about that one. I think that's a bit inefficient as well. All right, the last two that I'm going to show you, because you're probably sick of me. I get 50. So he gets 55. I get 100%. I'll show you how. So my traps again, blowing those barbarians backwards. There's another smaller mine, blowing them backwards. Just one of those days for that fella. Okay, so trying to take out some of those troops on my guard hut, and trying to get the crusher out of operation. Unfortunately, his archers are going to run out of cloak, and oh no, they do a good job. Maybe I should read them. I watch my videos before I even start commenting on them. Haha. Okay, so again, the traps are doing a great job. Like I said, I'm a big fan of these traps. Okay, boing, boing. Okay, and that barbarian went for a double boing and ended up doing nothing because the Tesla and the archer tower lock on. Very good. It's always funny when you see a barbarian in midair get shot down by a Tesla, by the way. That's quite hilarious. Okay, so the last one is a 100%er. Quite rare, I'd say, for me, at Builder Hall 4. And again, it's one of these cool bases that you see tucked in the corner. Okay, so the priority targets are 1, 2, 3 buildings in the corner. And of course, this crusher here is easy meat for a group of sneaky archers. Okay, so sneaky archers go in and deployed troops to take out those corners. Once that one goes down, it was a straightforward manner of getting those meat shields in and then spamming the rest of the barbarians. That push trap actually helped me. It actually pushed my troops out of the way and out of the way of that mega mine, and kept the barbarians behind the giants too. So perhaps again you want to turn that push trap away, so you push that group of barbarians further into your base towards another mine or something like that. And now all the defenses have gone down, and it doesn't matter how many times they get pushed out, these barbarians are still going to win the day for me. Right, there we have it. My first Builder Hall 4 video. Let me know what you think, guys. As always, I'm happy to hear your feedback. Happy for you guys to leave likes and comments. Happy for you to spread the word. And of course, check out the other videos. Seeing as I'm now at a stage where I can start experimenting with my troops, I might do some Go Bowie stuff. All right, thanks for watching. As always, Dev out.